Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I am Jake.
And I am Sophia. And today's topic is one that can make people laugh, cry, plan, panic, dream, and sometimes all at the same time.
That's right. We are talking about money.
Money. The thing everyone wants, everybody needs, and somehow everybody thinks they do not have enough of.
Exactly. Money is like that one friend who says, I will be there at 8, and then shows up late, leaves early, and somehow still takes all the attention.
That is so true. And today we are going to talk about money in a simple, friendly, funny way. No boring classroom lecture. No heavy finance words that sound like a robot in a suit.
We are keeping it real. We are talking about how money works in everyday life, how to control it instead of letting it control you, and how to stop feeling confused every time you hear words like budget, savings, debt, and investment.
So whether you are a student, working, earning your first salary, or just trying to understand why your wallet disappears so fast, this conversation is for you.
Let's start with the big question. What is money, really?
Money is a tool. That is it. It is not magic. It is not evil. It is not your enemy. It is a tool that helps you exchange value.
Very important. People often think money is the goal, but actually, money is the vehicle.
Yes, money helps you buy food, pay rent, get clothes, travel, save for the future, help your family, and build the life you want.
In simple words, money gives you choices.
Exactly. More money does not automatically mean more happiness, but it often means more freedom, more security, and less stress.
And less panic when your phone says low battery and your bank account says low too.
That was painfully accurate.
Now, let us talk about something very important. Many people work hard for money, but they never really learn how to manage it.
That is the problem. Earning money is one skill. Managing money is another skill. And growing money is another one.
So there are 3 stages. Earn it, manage it, grow it.
I like that. Let's break it down.
First, earning money. Most people get money from jobs, businesses, freelancing, side hustles, or family support when they are young.
And the truth is, when money comes in, it feels exciting. You think, wow, I have money now. Then suddenly you order food, buy coffee, get something online, and somehow the money disappears like it was never real.
The money effect is very strong on day 1. On day 3, it becomes a mystery.
So that is why we need a plan. And the first plan is budgeting.
Budgeting sounds serious, but it is actually just telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went.
That is one of the best money quotes ever. Budgeting is not about punishment. It is about control.
Imagine you get your monthly income. If you spend without thinking, your money becomes wild. It runs away. It goes on vacation. It buys snacks, clothes, subscriptions, and random things you do not remember ordering.
And then, at the end of the month, you are sitting there like, I swear I had money.
Exactly. So a budget helps you divide your money before it disappears.
A simple way to think about it is this. Some money goes to needs, some goes to wants, some goes to savings, and some goes to future goals.
Needs are things you must have. Food, rent, transport, basic bills.
Wants are things that make life more fun. Eating out, shopping, entertainment, that extra fancy drink that tastes like happiness and regret at the same time.
Savings are your backup plan.
And future goals are things like education, travel, buying a home, starting a business, or building wealth.
Now, let's be honest. Budgeting is not fun at first.
No, it is not. It feels like your money is being given homework.
But once you start doing it, life becomes calmer. You stop asking, where did it all go? And start saying, okay, I know exactly where it went, and I made that choice.
That is powerful. Money management is really about making conscious choices.
Let's talk about saving money. Saving is one of the most important habits in personal finance.
Yes, because savings protect you from emergencies. A medical bill, an unexpected repair, a sudden trip, job loss, or any situation where life says, surprise!
And life loves surprises. Not the nice kind, the expensive kind.
Exactly. Savings create peace. Even a small savings fund can reduce stress.
But people sometimes say, I cannot save because I do not earn enough.
That is a common feeling. And it is sometimes true that income is low. But saving is not only about the amount, it is also about the habit.
Yes, even saving a small amount regularly builds discipline.
Let's say you save a little from every payment. It may feel tiny in the beginning, but over time it becomes meaningful.
And the beautiful thing is, saving teaches your brain that future you matters.
That is such an important point. A lot of people spend everything on today and leave nothing for tomorrow.
Tomorrow also has bills. Tomorrow is not free.
Tomorrow is very expensive, actually.
So, saving is step one. Step two is understanding debt.
Ah, yes, debt. The word that can either help you or haunt you.
Debt is money you borrow and must pay back, often with extra cost called interest.
Some debt is useful. For example, if someone uses a loan carefully for education, business, or something that creates value, it can be helpful.
But bad debt is when people borrow to buy things they cannot afford and then struggle to pay later.
Like buying too much with a card and then acting shocked when the bill arrives.
The bill always arrives. It is never lost. It is just waiting.
And one of the biggest money problems people face is not debt itself, but unmanaged debt.
Debt becomes dangerous when you borrow without a plan.
So rule number 1, if you borrow money, know exactly how you will repay it.
Rule number 2, do not borrow to impress people.
Oh, that is a big one. Some people buy expensive things just to look rich.
But looking rich and being financially strong are not the same thing.
Exactly. Some people have a beautiful house, nice car, expensive clothes, and a bank account that is crying quietly in the corner.
The bank account is wearing sunglasses and hiding tears.
Financial health is more important than fake appearance.
Now let's talk about spending habits. Spending is not the enemy. Uncontrolled spending is.
That is right. We should spend money on things that bring value to our lives, but we need to know the difference between value and impulse.
Impulse spending is when you buy something just because you are bored, emotional, or because it had a discount tag screaming at you.
Discounts are dangerous. A 50% discount can make people buy something they never wanted in the first place.
Exactly. It is not a deal if you were never going to use it.
One of the best questions to ask before buying something is, do I need this? And will I actually use it?
Another good question is, would I still buy this if nobody ever saw it?
Great point. Sometimes people buy things for status, but real financial freedom is quiet.
That's deep.
Thank you. I became wise after being fooled by too many online sales.
We have all been there.
Now let's talk about income, because saving and budgeting are easier when income grows.
Income can come from one source or multiple sources.
One source is common, but multiple income streams can give more safety.
For example, someone may have a job and also do freelance work, tutoring, content creation, delivery work, or a small business.
Having extra income is helpful because it can reduce pressure. If one source slows down, you are not completely stuck.
But here's the important part. Do not build extra income by exhausting yourself so much that you crash.
Yes, money is important, but your health matters too.
Burnout is expensive in a different way.
Very true. Now let's talk about investing, because this is where money starts working for you.
Investing means putting money into something with the hope that it grows over time.
It could be stocks, funds, a business, property, or other long-term opportunities.
People often think investing is only for rich people. That is not true.
What matters is not how much you start with, but whether you start wisely and consistently.
Investing is about patience.
Yes, it is not a lottery ticket. It is not a quick fix machine.
If somebody promises you huge returns very fast, that should make you very careful.
Very careful, because if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is.
Let's say it clearly. Real investing involves risk, learning, and time.
And it should be done with understanding, not pressure.
A lot of people also hear the word compound interest and think it sounds like a math villain.
It does sound scary, but it is actually one of the most powerful money ideas.
Compound interest means your money can grow over time, and the growth can also generate more growth.
In simple language, it is money making babies.
That is one way to explain it.
And if you start early, the effect can be huge because time helps a lot.
That is why young people should learn money early.
Yes, even small investments made consistently over a long time can become meaningful.
Now, money is not just about numbers, it is also about mindset.
Absolutely. Your money habits often come from your beliefs.
Some people believe money is always hard to earn.
Some people believe rich people are automatically bad.
Some people believe they are just bad with money and cannot change.
But all of these are beliefs, and beliefs can be changed.
Money skills are learned. Nobody is born knowing how to budget, save, invest, or plan.
That is such a relief, honestly, because many people feel ashamed when they do not understand money.
There is no shame in learning. Shame only comes when you refuse to learn.
Exactly, and learning about money gives you confidence.
Let's talk about one of the biggest money challenges, emotional spending.
Oh yes, people do not just spend because they need things. They spend because they are tired, sad, stressed, excited, lonely, or celebrating.
Food delivery after a rough day is a classic example.
True, sometimes it is not hunger. It is emotional damage with a side of fries.
That one hurt.
Emotional spending is normal sometimes, but it becomes a problem when it becomes a habit.
So, when emotions are high, it helps to pause before spending.
Take a breath. Wait a little. Ask yourself what you actually need.
Sometimes what you need is rest, water, or a walk.
Not another thing in your online cart.
Exactly.
Another important topic is financial goals.
Yes, money without goals gets wasted. Money with goals gets direction.
A goal can be short-term, like saving for a phone or a trip.
Or medium term, like paying off debt or building an emergency fund.
Or long-term, like buying a house, building a business, or creating passive income.
Having goals makes saving easier because your brain knows there is a reason.
Right. It is much easier to say no to unnecessary spending when you know that money is going towards something important.
Let's talk about emergency funds specifically.
Emergency funds are the money you keep for unexpected situations.
Not for shopping. Not for just because it is on sale. For real emergencies.
A broken appliance, medical need, travel for family emergency, temporary loss of income, those kinds of things.
This fund gives you breathing room.
And breathing room is priceless.
Now, let's discuss one thing people often ignore, tracking expenses.
Yes, if you do not track your money, you are basically guessing.
And guessing with money is not a strategy.
Not at all. Tracking means writing down or checking where your money goes.
You may discover something surprising.
Like how much you spend on snacks, coffee, rides, subscriptions, or tiny little purchases that somehow form a giant total.
The small expenses are secretly powerful.
They are the ninjas of your budget.
Great image.
Thank you. So the more you know your spending habits, the better decisions you can make.
Now let's talk about how money affects relationships.
Ooh, important topic.
Money can create stress in friendships, dating, family life, and marriage.
Yes, because money touches almost everything. Gifts, dates, travel, responsibilities, and long-term planning.
Honest communication about money is very important.
Very. Hiding money problems never helps.
And comparing yourself to others is also dangerous.
Ugh, social media makes this worse.
Absolutely. People show vacations, new cars, clothes, and luxurious meals.
But you do not see the debt, the stress, or the late-night panic behind the post.
Exactly. Never build your money life based on someone else's highlight reel.
Build based on your real life, your real goals, and your real income.
Let's make money feel practical now. What are some simple habits that can improve money life?
First, spend less than you earn.
That sounds basic, but it is powerful.
Second, save regularly.
Third, avoid unnecessary debt.
Fourth, learn about money constantly.
Fifth, invest with patience and understanding.
Sixth, set goals and review them.
Seventh, build discipline.
Discipline is huge because money habits are not built in one day. They are built by repetition.
Right. One smart choice is good. Many smart choices become a lifestyle.
Now, let's talk about why people often feel afraid of money.
Money can feel scary because it affects survival.
Exactly. If someone is struggling, money becomes emotional.
That is why some people avoid looking at their bank account.
I understand that feeling. Sometimes people fear the number so much that they delay checking it.
But avoiding it does not help.
No, knowing your situation is better than imagining the worst.
Awareness gives you power.
Yes, even if the number is low, at least now you can make a plan.
And plans are better than panic.
Let's also talk about money and independence.
Money gives independence because it allows you to make choices without depending completely on others.
That does not mean you should never ask for help.
Of course not. But having your own financial base gives confidence and dignity.
It also helps you make decisions from strength, not fear.
And that is a big deal.
Now, a funny but true thing about money is this. The less you control it, the faster it disappears.
It is like soap in water.
Exactly. 1 minute it is there, next minute it is gone.
That is why money needs attention.
Attention, respect, and a plan.
Let's talk about a very common trap: lifestyle inflation.
Yes. This happens when income increases and spending increases immediately.
Someone gets a raise and suddenly their life becomes twice as expensive.
Better food, more shopping, more subscriptions, more everything.
And they end up in the same financial position as before.
Sometimes even worse, because now the expenses are larger. Now let's talk about how money affects relationships.
The smart move is to upgrade slowly and save the difference.
That is how wealth quietly grows.
Exactly.
Another money habit people should learn is delayed gratification.
That means waiting for something better instead of grabbing every small pleasure right now.
Yes, it is saying, I can enjoy this later if I choose wisely now.
That skill is powerful for saving, investing, and achieving goals.
Because not every desire needs immediate action.
Wise words from Sophia, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you. My wisdom is sponsored by experience and a few financial mistakes.
Same here.
We all make mistakes with money. The important thing is to learn from them.
Let's talk about common money mistakes.
One mistake is not having a budget.
Another is spending emotionally.
Another is ignoring debt.
Another is not saving.
Another is trying to look rich instead of becoming financially stable.
And another is not learning enough.
The good news is that every one of these can be improved.
Yes, no one is stuck forever.
That is encouraging.
Let's get practical again. Imagine a young person who just started earning. What should they do first?
First, understand their income.
Second, list essential expenses.
Third, create a simple budget.
Fourth, build a small emergency fund.
Fifth, avoid unnecessary debt.
Sixth, begin saving and investing as soon as possible.
Seventh, keep learning.
Perfect.
And for someone with a low income, even small improvements matter.
Yes, financial growth is not only about huge leaps, it is about consistent steps.
One better decision every week can change a life over time.
That is very true.
Let's make this conversation even more real. Jake, what do you think people misunderstand most about money?
Great question. I think people think money is only about having a lot of it.
Yes.
But money is also about behavior. Someone with average income and strong habits can be more stable than someone with a huge income and terrible habits.
Absolutely. Income helps, but habits build the foundation.
What about you?
I think people underestimate how emotional money is. They think money is only math, but it is also psychology, habits, fear, identity, and confidence.
That is true. Two people can earn the same amount and have completely different financial lives.
Because one knows how to manage and the other spends without thinking.
Money is not just what you earn. It is what you keep, grow, and use wisely.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about generosity, because money should not only be for personal gain.
Yes, money can also help others.
Helping family, supporting friends in need, donating to good causes, or contributing to community projects can all be meaningful. The smart move is to upgrade slowly and save the difference.
But generosity should come from stability, not pressure.
Exactly. You cannot help others well if you destroy yourself financially.
A healthy financial life lets you give from strength.
And giving feels good when it is sustainable.
That's an important balance.
Before we wrap up, let's do a quick money mindset summary.
Okay.
Money is a tool.
Money gives choices.
Budgeting gives control.
Saving gives security.
Debt must be managed carefully.
Investing helps money grow.
Discipline creates stability.
Goals give direction.
Learning gives confidence.
And patience gives results over time.
That sounds like a full money playlist.
I like that. And if money had a comedy show, it would probably be called Where Did My Salary Go?
Season 1 would be tragic. Season 2 would be budget recovery.
Season 3 would be Investment Confidence.
And Season 4 would be peace.
That is the dream.
So to everyone listening, do not be afraid of money. Respect it, learn it, track it, save it, grow it, and use it to build the life you want.
Money does not have to be confusing. Start small, stay consistent, and keep improving.